Name is Rosane H. Here from VSBA Marketing 2G. For today's video, my topic for today is concept and definition of a commodity. What is a commodity? A commodity is the concept of answerability by an individual of a department from the performance or outcomes of specifics and activity essentials. The accommodable party is responsible for the ex- exhibition of desire of rules. What are the concepts of commodity and responsibility? Accountability means taking ownership of the result of have a beneproduct, whereas responsibility focuses on the define of role. Each the team members and what the value they can bring to the table because their specific position, where accountability is result focused, responsible or is task or project focus.
Today, I'm Charmaine Lee Biliganya from the SBA Marketing 2G. Public accountability. Accountability is vital to a well-functioning liberal democracy because it keeps the power of government checked and the public informed. According to Bobens 2007, accountability is a relationship between an actor and a forum in which the actor has an obligation to explain and to justify his or her conduct. The forum can pose questions and pass judgment, and the actor may face consequences. Public accountability nowadays is extremely complex. Governments are being called to account by diverse account holders in different fora for different aspects of their conduct. Accountability has been described as the hallmark of modern democratic governance. In 19th century, Benjamin Disraeli wrote that all power is a trust, that we are accountable for its exercise, that from the people and for the people all springs and all must exist. Pin states that where the public's power is entrusted to others, that means those with public power are accountable to the public for the exercise of their trust. According to Pin, being accountable to the public is an obligation of all who hold office or employment in our governmental system. Accountability of public officers. Section 1. Public office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency, act with patriotism and justice, and lead modest lives. That's all. Thank you.
Importance of public accountability. Public accountability importance provides a democratic means to monitor and control government conduct, prevent the development of concentration of power, and enhance the learning capacity and effectiveness of public administrations. Democracy and popular sovereignty. Public accountability is an essential condition for the democratic process as it provides citizens with the information they need to judge the propriety and effectiveness of the conduct of government. Why is public accountability important? So public accountability is important because we consider the need for public accountability arises because of the need for trusted relationship between the public sector and the public. It is about the public sector demonstrating its competence, reliability, and honesty in a way that allows the public to judge the trustworthiness of the public sector in using public money and resources. And this part explores why public trust and confidence are important in the first place, what influences them, and whether they can be maintained. For example, the public nature of account. Giving is instructive others in the same position regarding the accountability process, parliamentary questions, for example, e- especially when broadcast on TV cast, their shadow will ahead far beyond the concrete issue which forms the subject of inquiry and may oblige many administrators and public servants to adjust their policies.
Political accountability. The prime accountability process is the election where citizens hold the government to account directly through the exercise of their vote. A government or accountor present itself to the citizens account holder and seeks a renewal of its mandate to govern. Election oblige governments to explain and justify their actions. Citizens have the opportunity to listen to the information, ask a question, discuss, and finally impose a verdict. The impact of election even spreads beyond the actual election process through the indirect power of anticipated reactions. Although elections are vital way to hold governments to account, they have some serious limitation and processes of accountability. Papadopoulos, 2003. First, elections are not necessarily retrospective in nature. Second, um, second elections as accountability processes required politicians who face re-election and genuine political competition. And the third, ideal type citizens vote after a careful process of information and deliberation. Reality is usually different. In the previous decades, the publicity of the government's action has been steadily. After the publication of the most government documents has been institutional, there is an irrevocable pressure from society to open up even more. This pressure to publish can be partly attributed to increased digitalization and the rise of the internet. The costs to spread public information has been reduced in a remarkable way. Although information is a vital condition to public accountability, process of holding someone to account required more than just having access to information. Me, accountability is taking or being assigned responsibility for something that you have done or something you are supposed to do. Um, for example, an example of accountability is when an employee admits an error she made on a project. That's it for me. And what is the importance of public accountability? Public accountability is important because it provides a democratic means to like monitor and control government conduct, prevent the development of concentrations of power, and enhance the learning capacity of effectiveness of public administration. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Adrian Benitez from BSBI Marketing 2G. My report is Graft and Corruption. What what is graft and corruption? Graft and corruption include bribery, extortion, and nepotism and are characterized by the subordination of public interest to private aims and violation of the norms of duty and welfare, accompanied by secrecy, betrayal, deception, and a callous disregard for any consequence suffered by the public. The public considers graft and corruption to be widespread and persistent as evidenced by survey of mid-level civil servants from 25 agencies pointing to those practices as rampant. This impression is further illustrated by political campaigns focusing on corruption and frequent press coverage, as a distinction is made between public awareness of the problem and the relative importance attached to it by the public. A study investigating public opinion reveals that only 15% of the respondents mentioned corruption as an important national problem, with the less educated and poorer respondents rating it far below high prices, unemployed, and lowliness. What law punishes graft and corrupt practices in the Philippines? There are other laws that penalize corrupt acts and prohibit the giving of the gifts to public officers under certain circumstances. Republic Act Number 3019 and the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act is the main anti-corruption law.